1, 2, 3,
Keep your bliss. There's nothing wrong with this.
Okay, are you ready?
I'm as ready as I'll ever be.
There are a lot of questions that just say, how did you meet and stuff, so I feel like that's probably a good place to start.
Well, we met at the gym. I had friends in the class that you were in, and I'd seen you around, and I also was like, hey, maybe I'll go check out that class and see how that class is, you know, any different. It was very fun, very lively. I hung out with my friends that were in that class, and you hung out with those same friends, and yeah.
I'm trying to find this Instagram message. What Brad's not telling you is that he just infiltrated my CrossFit class. He's saying it in a very different way, but
I'm saying it in the least creepy way possible.
In our gym, and I'm sure this happens at gyms everywhere, when you have class times, you start to like really like ride for your class. Like your class is your friends, that's when you go, and like this might not be everywhere, but our gym for a little bit had like almost like a clique problem with class times.
I believe the word you're looking for is culty.
Well, CrossFit in itself is culty, but like the 5 a.m. class was like not a fan of like the 4 p.m. class, and like, anyways, I was the 4 p.m. class, and we were the fun class, and I'm not just saying that. I think our class was the funnest.
Yeah, I mean, I think that it was probably I think it was more fun.
Yeah, and then on top of you go to the same class, you also have like the assigned spots. Like me and my friends went to the same spot on the rig every day for class. I saw my friends 6 days a week in that spot, all these things. So when Brad was like, I'm gonna go to this class so I could be next to this girl, all I thought was, who is this guy and why is he taking spots from my friends? Like he was interrupting the assigned spots, and I was like, how rude of this man. And then he started messaging me on Instagram.
Did you go look at the...
Yes, this is 2022. October 2022. I've played sand volleyball for 5 years now, every week, religiously with my friends. Brad played sand in college, and so I like posted about playing, and he said, well, if you ever need a sub, like, let me know. And in my head, I was like, I won't be doing that. I play with two of my best friends I met them when I was 12 on a volleyball team. We played together for almost 10 years. Now we play as adults, and our team is very competitive. There are leagues if you just want to get a beer and play sand and whatever. We are competitive, so I get really nervous about bringing people to sub, because if you're not good, my friends are gonna rip me a new one, and we don't like losing. So I was like, I'm not gonna ask him to sub, because what if he sucks? No offense to you, but I feel like so many guys are always like, no, I'm good at volleyball. Yeah. They just, because they can jump high, which is...
What were my statements though when you asked me if I was good? Because you did ask me that question.
I did, but I think that was in a text. I don't think that was on Instagram. But yeah, he said something about subbing, and he was like, if I'm in town, I would like to sub. But this month is a little all over the place. And I said, I forgot how popular you are. And you said, I don't know about all that. Let me get your number though, because I'm so popular, I'll try to pencil you in. So then Brad texted me and asked me to go get drinks. The first time I couldn't, I was out of town. And the second time, you're like, okay, rain check, let's go this day. I actually had something else going on, but I think I was in book club.
Yeah, it was Wednesday.
Yeah, and I was like, if I say no twice, this guy's not gonna ask me again. So I'm like, no, I'm just so busy. And
if you keep getting no's, take the hint.
Yeah. So I told book club that I couldn't go, so I could go on this date, but ironically, or maybe unironically, I didn't want to go. I was like, I don't know, almost 8 months post-divorce. I had just bought my house, and I was like, me and Nolly, it's just me and Nolly, like, I'm good. Like, I got my house, I'm chilling.
We're just a couple of girls.
Yeah, I was like in therapy doing my thing, and I felt really good by myself, and I was like, I don't feel like dating. And my best friend Kristen said, just go and you'll get a free dinner. But also it could be a fun winter thing, because our first date was the beginning of November. Which, yeah, a fun winter thing. Now 2.5 years later.
Yeah.
3 winters later. And what happened on our first date?
We had a great time. We went to a place in Louisville called Neat. It's a bourbon bar. We had 2 drinks over the entire 4.5 hours that we were there, and they don't have snacks or food. And we got drinks because I asked you to drinks. We did not
Say it with your chest.
We didn't get food. We didn't have food. There was no food involved.
Didn't even feed me.
You know, if it's a fun winter thing, and I'm also hearing that maybe, you know, don't know how serious it could be. Hundreds of dollars for dinner.
Where are we going at hundreds of dollars for dinner?
Sushi's not cheap.
Either way, we had both went to CrossFit. Like, I went to class, and as I was leaving class, he was going to class, and in my head I was like, bro, I'm supposed to see you in like an hour and a half, and you're just now going to class.
Yeah.
He showered at the gym.
Showered at the gym and went straight to
I was like, oh my god. We met up at 6:30, 6 or 6:30.
6 or 6:30.
Yeah, but we both came from the gym because I just went home, showered, got ready, and met him there. Because I was assuming I was getting fed, and we both had a drink. He went to go get another round, and then I didn't finish my second drink because I was like, I haven't eaten, and like I was drinking old fashions. Brad just had neat bourbon, and I was like, I can't finish the second drink because I gotta drive and I haven't eaten and whatever. It was almost 10:30, and he goes, I'm so sorry. Like, we talked the whole time. The whole time.
There was never a lull in conversation.
Yeah. And
it never felt awkward. It was a very good, like, conversational, let's get to know each other date, and that was awesome.
Yeah.
But yeah, there was no food, and I looked at her and I go, hey, so I haven't eaten or anything.
Yeah, he was like, I don't want to like cut this date off or whatever, but like I haven't eaten and it's getting pretty late. And I go, yeah, I haven't eaten either. And he goes, why didn't you say anything? And I was like, because this was your idea.
I said drinks.
So on our second date, what happened?
I fed you twice.
We went to dinner. Obviously, we went to dinner, had dinner, and then we were gonna go to a bar for drinks, and I forgot my wallet. So I didn't have my license, so we couldn't get into that bar, but that bar was around the corner from my house. So we stopped by my house to get my wallet, ended up at a second bar, and got like an appetizer or whatever at that bar, and had another couple drinks. And I made a comment, I was like, are you feeding me twice because you didn't feed me last time? And he was like, yeah, for sure.
Mistakes happen, and we learn from mistakes. Mistakes are okay. Just
and now he knows.
Don't make them the second time.
To feed me. A lot of other questions is how long you guys been together since November 2022.
November 9th of 2022.
Over 2 years.
Over 2 years.
I explained our engagement story while I was getting ready for the concert yesterday.
Okay.
So some of these questions are, did he help pick the ring out? How did you know? Did you know he was going to propose? I knew, and yes.
I can't keep secrets.
And yes, he helped me pick the ring out. I wanted an emerald, and then the guy who was helping us at the jewelry store surprised us with a radiant. He was like, I think you guys will like this. Loved it. But Brad picked out the setting. So it's got diamonds on the side, some underneath, and then the bottom is flat, which we both really liked. So it sits on my hand really nice. Eloping or wedding?
Wedding.
We joked about eloping. And so we have been joking about, I guess it's not joking, have just been saying, like, when we get married, things like that, before we were engaged. And we said it in front of his...
In a relationship, in a serious one,
well, yes.
You start talking about those things before they happen.
Yes.
You know what the answer is going to be when you ask the question beforehand.
I mean, my mom was sending me venues before I was engaged. She was like, have you looked here? Have you looked here? But we joked about eloping in front of his mom. And she was like, you won't? And we were like, yeah, you're right. We wouldn't. We're not going to do it. But, so we are having a wedding.
She might have disowned me.
Yeah.
If that was the case.
God love her. Yeah. But we are having a wedding, but we have decided no bridal party. Ceremony is immediate family only. So the wedding is just people coming for dinner and a party.
Yeah.
And it'll be great. And we're shooting for August.
Yeah.
So 6 months to start planning.
7 months.
So yeah, it's not only gonna be in the wedding. We want her to be there
Somehow.
like for pictures or something. We want
Yeah.
her to be there at the beginning, and then we'll have somebody take her home or whatever. But we do want her there in some capacity.
Don't know how yet, but we will make something happen. We need to start asking venues, by the way.
I know. But we'll wait till we pick one. Some guy said, "I'm very happy for you, and I apologize for drunkenly shooting my shot a year ago." The best qualities you see in each other.
You are by far the most optimistic go-getter that I have probably ever met. And there is nothing that you won't accomplish. I think that's probably my favorite quality.
We're gonna get some stuff done. When me and Brad started dating, we were like 2 or 3 weeks into dating, and something happened. I couldn't even tell you now. That, like, for my life, normal. Like, there is always something crazy going on, and I've gotten used to it. One of my friends, Sarah, she always jokes that if she didn't know me personally, she would think some of the stuff that happened to me is made up. She's like, I wouldn't believe you. Like, if she didn't know me personally. And I'm like, what a blessing. And anyway, so something like that happened. I'm used to it, whatever. And he was like, what on God's green earth? And I made a statement like, if we're gonna be together, I will always keep you on your toes. Or like, life will never, things will always be interesting. Life will never be boring. And do you feel like I have lived up to that statement?
Yeah.
In ways that I didn't even expect.
No. You don't expect it, let alone me.
My favorite quality in Brad is, and I have told him this, so let it be known that we tell each other these things, but is his emotional intelligence. After coming from a really like emotionally abusive relationship, it took me a really long time to trust Brad with me telling him if I was upset about something, because I was afraid that he was gonna just turn it on me, gaslight me, and be like, that's not what I said, I didn't mean it that way, you took it the wrong way, blah blah blah. And it took like months of me being like, hey, when you said this, it hurt my feelings, and him being like, I'm so sorry, I didn't mean to do that, and I'll work on it, or I won't say that next time, or is there any way I could have said it differently, or whatever, for me to believe him. Because the first couple times I was like, you're just saying that, and eventually you're gonna get really mean.
You didn't say that.
That's not true. He still does that to this day, but he models it so well that I learned how to do it when I say something that upsets him. What's the best date we've been on?
I think we have, I should say we have fun in everything that we do. It's actually almost psychotic how much fun we have. I don't know. I feel like we've had some pretty cool ones too, because we've had like date nights out elsewhere too.
Yeah.
Like in other cities and stuff.
Oh yeah.
But I really liked our bowling one.
That's what I was gonna say.
The bowling one was really fun.
That was our third date.
Yeah.
He technically picked the first 2 dates, and so he was like, he was like, it's your turn, like told me. And I was texting my friend Kristen, and I was like, I kind of want to pick an activity, like we've gone to dinner and whatever. And so there is a bowling alley, and it's called Vernon Lanes. Word on the street is that Jack Harlow might have some ownership of it or something, I don't know, but I was like, let's go bowling. And it was like a Tuesday night or something, like it was a school night.
Yeah, it was a weeknight. Yeah.
We played 3 games. First game, Brad won.
I thought I played great.
Brad is very athletic.
Absolutely fantastic. And then, lo and behold, someone was holding out on me, and the next 2 games, I got waxed, and she beat me by like 100 points every time. I was like, I don't know where this came from, but...
And I was like, I'm gonna be so honest, this is the best game of my life. I've never bowled this well, but I mean, smacked him the second and third game, and he was like, okay, we're done.
Yeah.
But in the basement of Vernon Lanes, there is another bar, but on Tuesdays or whatever night we were there, there's karaoke, but it was just like retired old people that can go out drinking on Tuesday nights.
And also like 4 30-year-olds
yeah,
that could all everybody could sing, everybody was fantastic, and I was like, oh, no, we're not going up there, not now.
Oh, no, they were like good karaoke. So there was a pool table, so we played a game of pool, and then eventually we just got a drink and sat and watched these people play karaoke. That, I was gonna say that, and I was also thinking about Mario Kart.
That one was very, very fun. I really enjoyed that one too, because that was a surprise day night because you had been traveling so much.
2 years ago for work, I traveled like crazy over like 8 weeks.
Was it 2 years ago?
2023, technically.
Yeah, technically.
A year and a half, I guess.
I guess.
I traveled like crazy for like 8-9 weeks. I mean, that was when I was like in Dubai, in Mexico, and I was going to Singapore and Brazil, and I was all over the place. And so Brad moved in May 2023. So we have lived together for almost 2 years now. And which surprises everyone because they're like, you can hide a man, but you hit a man that lives in your house. So I surprised Brad with a date night. He came home from the gym and I made up these cards. I should post it. I have the video. I filmed it, edited it, all the things. And Brad doesn't do well with surprises.
I don't do well with surprises.
Brad is someone who has, when he gets new information, he needs a minute to process the information. So surprises don't work because he takes a minute to process it. So I
shut down and have to reboot. I mean, that's just me.
And I know that. And so I made like not a fort, but I put a bunch of pillows on the ground and like in the living room and whatever, and made like a sleepover. And then I put on these cards: dinner, activity, and dessert. So I had 2 options for dinner, and we did tacos. I don't remember what the other one was. We did, and then 2 options for activities was a Mario Kart tournament, or maybe a game night,
yeah,
or like a game night. Yeah, maybe Catan or something. And then dessert was key lime pie or something else, but his favorite is key lime pie. Anyways, so we made tacos, had dessert, and then we just played Mario Kart in the living room because we have a Nintendo Switch, and we played for like hours. And that was like our surprise date night. What's the thing you're looking forward to the most / most excited for?
I mean, I'm pretty excited to see like what our wedding is gonna look like.
Yeah.
Like from obviously I think this is from a relationship standpoint. Yeah, I'm pretty excited to see like what our wedding looks like and actually be able to enjoy the day, because I hear so many couples say
it goes by so fast.
We were saying hi to everybody, and that's important. I think that's what you should do at your wedding. You want to be there with the people that you want there. But I want to know exactly what I want to know what's going on. I don't like surprises, so I'm excited to see what it looks like, and then I'm excited to see where we go in life after that.
I was thinking about this at Thanksgiving. We had to travel to a bunch of different family on Thanksgiving, and I thought it was really awesome because at Thanksgiving we had already picked out our rings, so I knew it was coming and whatever. But we were sitting around with his family, like joking and playing games, like his immediate family, not extended. And I thought it was so, like, the thought of this is the Thanksgiving I get to have all, like, for the rest of time. And there was such a like comfort in knowing that like I don't have to experience a new Thanksgiving again. It's my family and his family. We're already comfortable with those people.
Yeah.
And like those are traditions that's now what we do. And I was really excited for that. Just like the comfort of these are our plans forever.
Yeah, I think also, to go off of that as well, like I also hear other relationships, because people talk badly about marriage and the negative attitudes. It's like all ball and chain and all that other crap. Which I just don't believe in. If you're with your partner and you love your partner, then act like it. Like having the in-laws that you don't like. I love your parents.
Yeah.
Like your parents are great people individually, as a couple.
Yeah.
They also have 40 years of experience.
Yeah.
And have, they make it work, and yeah, there's tough times, and that's how relationships are, and all that, everything else. But like, that's awesome that we have that around. And then I believe the same thing with my parents, who have also been married for 43 years.
Yes, his parents, in my perspective, his parents are the in-laws that you want. Obviously, I think my parents are the in-laws you want, but like last night or 2 nights ago when we were going to the concert, I mean, me and his mom were going back and forth between the guest room that we were staying in and his parents' room, and I was like, what are you wearing? And she was like, what are you wearing? And then I put something on and I was like, what do you think of this? And I'm like in a group message with his mom and his sister talking about wedding planning, and she has told us so many times, this is about what you want. How can we help you for what you want? And I feel like people don't get that one.
Yeah.
Does Nolly approve, give her blessing? Nolly likes him more than me. She's not here.
What are you doing? You see me? Oh, you coming to visit?
She gives her blessing. Don't worry. Have we maybe seen him in previous TikToks of doing CrossFit?
100%.
Yes.
100%.
That has been like, if you knew me in real life, I guess is how to say that. Like, my community, my circle of people, everyone that I love that's in my corner, obviously know him. Like, we are almost always together. Where I go, he goes. Where he goes, I go. For the most part, when appropriate.
Each
So, like,
independent baddies, and we know it.
So, my people who know and love Brad, they see my posts of CrossFit or whatever, and Brad's like in the background, and they're like, oh, there's Brad, because they know him. So they see him in my stories, and it's like, they know who it is. But if you didn't know him, didn't know of him, weren't looking for him, you would, like, in theory, you're just not paying attention. You have no idea, because I mean, I have in the videos of Brad, like... The perfect example is one of our friends, Kristen. This was very early. Can you tell Kristen is a big part of our lives?
She's a very big part of our lives. She's a great gal. She messaged you after you posted a TikTok that had, you were in, like, the mirror in our room, and my shoes were out.
Oh, yeah.
Just one singular pair of noticeably guys'
men's
shoes.
Tennis shoes.
And she was like, ooh, I see these shoes, and took like a screenshot and sent it to her.
Obviously she knew.
Yeah, and that was, so like that was
that's
right after I moved in.
It's like
weeks after I moved in.
And there are 2 toothbrushes in the bathroom. His shaving cream's in the bathroom. Like, his work boots are usually by the front door in like my cleaning vlogs or things like that. Like, but you're not looking for it.
There's Easter eggs everywhere.
Yeah, I feel like Taylor Swift. And wait, I have the perfect example. But yes, he is right next to me. We gym together. I used to never want to work out with my significant other. I still think it depends on the day. Sometimes gym time is me time. Like, I'm having a bad day, I just need to go, put headphones in, I just gotta go. But I used to think that was like all the time. Then I joined CrossFit, and I had never liked gym class style workouts. I didn't like classes, but CrossFit class is so much different to me than like an F45 or an Orange Theory, because people are in there to like push you to lift as heavy as, like, I've never been cheered on to fail more than I have at CrossFit, which is such like in a loving way. Like, they want to push you to be your best, and they want to see you succeed. And then when he started coming to class, I'm obviously working out next to him when we weren't dating, still doing that. I want to be as fast as I can, as strong as I can, all these things. And now I'm like, or do you want me to wait for you to go to the gym so we can go together? And like, when I was learning my muscle ups, I was like, can you watch this? Hey, like, pay attention to me. Or like, when I want a PR, I'm like, hey, watch this. And I love working out together. Oh, yes, okay, this is the perfect example. I went to a concert last year. This is what I posted on Instagram, okay? This is just a mirror selfie, whatever. Do you see the bed? How the bed is right, you can see like half the bed. Other way, okay? This is how Brad was laying on the bed while I took that selfie.
She said, get out of the way. So
I was like, I gotta take a picture. So, when I tell you that he's always around, like, that, right, that's the best example. I saved that for this moment. I was like, one day he's gonna be on the internet. Jackie wants to know if she can be the flower girl. Shakes Jackie.
Yeah, she wants to.
Iced coffee or hot? Not you, CL. I want to know Brad's answer.
I'm more of a hot coffee person.
Brad's also black coffee or an Americano.
Yeah, very rarely do I get something different.
Yeah,
But
I'm iced, always.
I just want the caffeine. I just got done drinking a Monster. I want the caffeine straight to the veins. Hit me up.
Does Brad already have a color-coded wedding budget spreadsheet ready to go? That's from Emily.
I do.
Was Brad the one you'd meet for early morning cycling? Also, congrats. No, that's our friend Ryan, still single, great guy. Let me know. Ryan actually, Brad was infiltrating my CrossFit class.
That is a bad accident.
Under the guise of Ryan. Brad knew Ryan in college. I met Ryan at CrossFit. He's one of our best friends. Honestly, Ryan should be our flower girl.
I've known Ryan for, at this point, 13 years.
Yeah.
So
he was like, well, my friend Ryan's in this class. I'm going to go hang out with Ryan. It's just to see me. But anyway, do you both stay with your parents when you Airbnb the house?
Yeah. We didn't
At first.
initially.
So
when I had my apartment.
Yeah.
When she started doing her Airbnb.
My first Airbnb guest was March of 23, and he moved in May. So for 2 months, I was going to his house, which I was planning on going to my parents. And I told my mom, I mean, they knew, because I had to ask my mom before. I was like, I want to Airbnb the house. Specifically, I wanted to Airbnb it for Derby, because Derby pays our mortgage for a couple months. And I wanted to do it for Derby, but I was like, I'm coming to your house. And my mom's like, yeah, of course. My parents are super, like, my dad was like, yes, if we can make it happen, let's do it. But for the first 2 months, I was like, I'm gonna go to Brad's house. Also, Brad helps me clean. When he didn't live there, he would come over and help me clean for every stay. He is the reason that it is so organized, and we have the systems that we have.
Yeah.
And then
the bed sheets getting into their
homes. Yeah.
And tubs with labels on them.
Yeah. And then when Brad moved in, I was like, hey, like, I can't cancel on the Airbnb gives so many penalties to hosts for canceling, or which they should, right? Hosts should never cancel on you. So I was like, I can't cancel on these people. In May, we were booked through like October.
Yeah.
And he was like, yeah, we're not canceling. Like, we're keeping those, because anytime we had guests, Brad's rent to me went down. So he was like, yeah, we're doing it. And so we both went to my parents' house, and my parents love him. We're okay with it. Sometimes we use it as a reason to come down to his parents in Nashville, or we like had a wedding one week, so sometimes we're just out of the house anyway. But I think also,
I would say about 60% of the time we're at your parents' house. Yeah.
Also, Brad technically owns the duplex, so the house is mine. The duplex is under Brad's name, but honestly, when we were at the duplex, some of it made me feel a little guilty. I never actually fully answered the question, because people were like, how did you afford a second house? Blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
And I never answered it because I didn't want to lie, but Brad bought it. Like, I mean, we bought it together, but Brad bought it. And so that was really the reason. And we moved into the duplex for 6 months. Last year, from March until the beginning of September, we lived in the duplex. And we moved in, we moved whatever we could, or I guess the least amount what we could. We decorated the top, we lived in the top, furnished it, because it's midterm rental, so it wasn't like people are moving in with their furniture. We had to buy furniture.
Yeah.
Decorated the top, furnished it. At the same time, we were taking care of the house. Anytime we had Airbnb, I was letting Airbnb fly, because we didn't live there. So we were like working on the duplex, furnishing it. Brad built the deck of the duplex. If you remember the deck of the duplex being built, Brad built the deck with my dad.
Yeah.
And I did not do that. Him and my dad tore down the old deck, built the new one. And meanwhile, me and my mom were on the inside, like hanging curtains and building dressers and whatever. And at the same time, we're running over to the house to flip for Airbnb, going back to the duplex. We finally got travel nurses in the top, so we moved to the bottom. And then we finally got other people, and so we moved out. But that was chaos. That was 6 months of chaos.
Six with the Airbnb, like in like October and stuff too. It was.
We kept telling ourselves, if we can get through this, everything will be easier. But like, it's either we go through it, because we knew we wanted a second property, and it was, we either go through the chaos right now and get it over with, or we're gonna have to do it like now. We're planning a wedding, and then we're also gonna buy, like, so I'm glad we did it, but
yeah, and then it became holidays, and so it was like going from chaos to chaos, but you know, the best kind of chaos. And then I was like, half of the Aruba trip wasn't even for the engagement, to be honest. It was to relax for both of us.
Chill the hell out. What's his name? How did we meet? How did we fall in love? His name is Brad. Bradley, one of my best friends calls him Bradford. So she commented that on one of the videos. She's like, we love Bradford. And then people are like, oh my God, my husband's name is Bradford. It's Bradley.
It's not Bradford, but I've been called worse, so.
Brad's middle name is Shane. My middle name is Lane. And we have an LLC for the properties called Shane and Lane. Cute, I know, you don't have to tell me. Met at the gym. How did we fall in love? Because we're great people.
Yeah. We're dope. We do dope stuff.
Oh, okay. Somebody just said, I want more Brad content, so there you go. How did you navigate a healthy relationship after your past? I had to communicate a lot. And it took a lot. Like a lot of Brad being like, sit down and talk to me.
Yeah.
Because I didn't
there would be times where you would say something or you would hesitate, and I could kind of feel you pull back in a conversation when we were talking about stuff that was more intimate. And then I'd say, all right, well, especially when we were with people or whatever it was, and what would I say?
Oh, you used to say it all the time.
Yeah, because it took a while.
We're gonna talk about this when we go.
Yeah, we should talk about this when we go. And then we would move on, talk about something, and I would put in the old noggin, and we would talk about that when we got back in a very healthy,
that was another
manner.
The first time he did that, he was like, we can talk about this when we get home. In like a, I see that you're upset kind of way. And the first time he did that and we got home, we walked in the door and he's like, okay, tell me what's going on. And I remember being so amazed that you remembered. Because I was like, oh, he's just saying that and then he's not gonna care. But I remember just being floored. I'm like, oh my God, you actually meant it. And then we talked about it. Now you don't have to say that because I'm like, hey.
And now you just tell me straight up, which is fine. We need to talk about things.
Yeah, so I had to work on communicating a lot harder than I ever have, even when I didn't want to.
Full disclosure, I still sometimes, when you do tell me things, sometimes I don't do the, is this a listening thing?
Oh, yeah.
So that's something that I have to work on.
Sometimes I do say, this is a listening moment. I don't need you to fix it. I just want you to listen to me complain. Who's better at CrossFit?
There are strengths and weaknesses for both of us. If it is double unders or
any skill work,
yeah, it's probably her. Handstands, stuff like that.
Handstand walks, double unders, wall walks,
snatches.
Oh yeah. If it is more skilled, like fine-tuned motor skill type things, I pick it up really quickly. If it is muscle ups, anything overhead, speed, Brad is way faster than me. Like a lot. One of the first times he worked out next to me, it was like an AMRAP. So we're like doing the same thing. It was how many rounds as possible. And he like lapped me at one point. And I remember after class, I looked at Kristen and I was like, I didn't know Brad was fast. And she was like, yeah, he's really fast. And I was like, ugh, now I have to be fast. How do you balance a relationship with social media presence?
Are you looking at me?
Yeah.
I don't really have much social media, so that's probably not my question.
When we started dating and Brad found my TikTok, I was like, don't look at it, don't follow me. You know what, better yet, block me. Just like, don't. That didn't work. But eventually we had to talk about it, and I made the joke, like, the only way you're going up is a husband hard launch. Like,
pretty much.
That's it. And then the more that I went on and the more we dated and the more that I actually loved, I wouldn't call it a secret. What do they say? It's not secret, it's private. Like, I loved being able to come home off of social media and have him to complain to have fun with, or whatever, that had nothing to do with the internet. And honestly, I think without social media in our relationship, it made it way healthier, way faster.
Well, I think to the degree that we've talked about too is you're almost, with respect to everybody that's in your audience and that follows you, is watching this, everything else is, you almost feel like you're talking to a void. Yeah, you get questions or you get other stuff, but you don't have that like direct connection with them. So when you're able to then do it with the person that you're intimate with or whatever, it's a different connection.
Yeah.
And so it's just feels different. So it's something that you just have to be aware of.
Yeah. But then in Aruba, I was like, are you ready to be on the internet? He was like, ready as I'll ever be.
Same way I started this exact thing.
Ready as I'll ever be.
Ready as I'll ever be.
Yeah. But there are times, if you all that know me know this, I have a little bit of spice threaded into my personality.
Wow.
And there are times where I will be like on a war path, replying to comments and like going to town. And Brad will be like, maybe we don't. Maybe we just sit and maybe we don't reply to everyone that you think is being mean. So a lot of time Brad stops me from, I don't know, absolutely tearing into people that aren't worth it. Like he's like, it's not worth your time or our time and
your mental space.
Yeah, and I'm like, you're right, whatever. So that does help. Do you both share a love for working out and being strong?
See.
We are like the chosen family pack mules. Like if my dad needs something hauled, he's like, we'll just wait till Courtney and Brad come over and they can move it. And I'm like, I am not working out just to be the moving force for our family, but we are.
Her dad was building a room on the side of their house, bourbon room. Anyway, it's gonna be like a bar, TV viewing area. It's got a fireplace in it. It's really cool. But he was building the whole entire thing, and he needed a sliding glass door that he was going to put in, and we had to move that thing, and that thing weighed like 400,
heavy.
500 pounds.
Yeah, I was like, thank God.
And it's the two of us picking it up.
Our deadlifts are like, yeah, it was so hard. How hard or fun has this secret been to have on your own? Super fun, I think.
This is your secret.
Well, yeah, I guess that's true.
More than anybody.
I think it's been super fun because, like I said, keeping your relationship off social media has been really healthy for us. Obviously, we don't know, we're navigating now our relationship on social media.
The early side of things.
Yeah, but
I think so far it's been good. Thank you very much.
Yeah, you guys have loved Brad. And it's only hard from a very superficial standpoint when I'm like in the bathroom doing a get ready and he's like in the hallway singing to Nolly, moving stuff, farting, whatever.
Me?
And so like I have to like edit those out, and I'm like or all of Vlogmas. So obviously he lives in the house, so all of Vlogmas he is right there. So there were times where I'm like, you have to go in the bedroom. So like I would like physically make him go to a different part of the house, which he is a very good sport. And he's like, God, Nolly, come on. They just like go sit on the other couch or whatever. So sometimes it's hard because we're doing so many things together that, like from a superficial editing standpoint, sometimes it was hard. But like we go to the beach with our friends every year and he's in like, I'm not gonna edit him out of those. Like he's in those. I just never directly said, he's with me, but he's in those. Be honest, who's stronger? Pound for pound.
I think it depends on the lift, too. Because then pound for pound, like her snatch is higher than mine. I'm not a very good person to be able to snatch.
I have, not to toot my own horn, there's only 2 girls at the gym that have a heavier snatch than I do. And that's the only lift like that. I'm not one of the strongest girls in the gym. Yeah,
whereas I like I think it's pretty good, but it's not great in the powerlifting world. Like a 405 pound deadlift.
Yeah.
which is a lot for a lot of people.
Who the heck is he, and does he have a brother?
No.
He doesn't have a brother. He has a brother-in-law.
I have a brother-in-law.
And he has a sister. His sister is older, and she has a little girl. They have a little girl. So I have said many a times, like, I have 2 nieces and a nephew, because I do, but they don't live here, or they don't live near us, whereas my sister, who has my niece and my nephew, live 20 minutes away from us, and so we see them more often. But our other niece was born last year. She's about to have her first birthday, and yes. So he's the baby. He's the youngest, and it's only the 2 of them.
Only 2 of us. So.
But his sister has been with her husband for 15, 16 years, and they're also great, obviously. And so we see them not often, but as often as we can.
And my brother-in-law is one of my favorite people in the world. He's a hoot to be around.
Yeah, he's pretty great. The first night. yeah, you guys really had every Sunday,
a battle of who could be the best sister-in-law, brother-in-law battle. I don't know what was going on.
No, I wouldn't say that.
Mentally, you guys were going wild.
Every Sunday night, my family has family dinner, and then after family dinner, we FaceTime his family, because they all live in different spots. So we talk to them every single week, regardless of if we've seen them or not. Like, we just saw his parents, but so I had been on the phone call. I was like invited to the family phone call, and I had been talking to them for months, and it felt like I knew them. But the first time I met them in person was for his 29th birthday, almost 2 years ago. And his brother-in-law and me are both people that, like, don't say no. We're just like, we just want to be with people and socialize and whatever. And so we started drinking old fashions with his dad, and me and his brother-in-law woke up the next morning and was like, I threw up, and I haven't thrown up after a night of drinking in like a decade. And I was like, don't talk to me. Like, I threw up at his parents' house. Thank God his parents thought it was funny. His dad, it's one of your dad's favorite stories.
Yeah.
Thank God. And because I really hadn't been around that long, just about a year. And yeah, so our first night meeting, we just went balls to the wall and had ourselves a little drinking night. And I haven't drank like that probably since, because I was scarred.
Yep.
But anyways, he doesn't have a brother, sorry. Tips on keeping a relationship like private like you did. Like, how did so many of us not see this coming? You just don't talk about it. If you guys look, I never once said, if I did get ready with me, if we were going to dinner, I never was like, get ready with me for a date. Like, I was get ready with me for dinner, but really Brad was taking me on a date, or whatever. Or
if we were going to, like, we went to the Nashville Predators game, you were like, get ready with me to go.
Yeah, the Predators game was awesome.
We're going to a Preds game.
Yeah, you just separate it. That sounds kind of harsh, but like,
I mean, it's true.
You never heard me talk about dating or relationships or whatever, because I didn't want to talk about it, so I didn't. My wife and I had a 2-year-long engagement. How long do you plan your engagement to be? 6 months, brother. If it was up to me, we would have gone to the courthouse before New Year's. Brad told me no.
Tax purposes.
Yeah, come on. Okay, I'll do one more. Actually, I'm gonna rapid fire Alex's questions. What was the first day we did that? When did you first fart in front of each other?
Oh my God, you didn't do it for about a year.
My first audible fart, which I think is important, was probably last year. But Brad, I don't know, just quickly, Brad farted.
It was like 4 months. I felt comfortable.
Anyways, who's the clothes washer and who's the clothes folder? Wrong. Brad is both.
No, I mean, I typically do wash clothes, but I mean,
I'll wash them, but Brad is cleaner than I am. Let it be known. Who's sweet treat and who's a salty treat?
I'm sweet treat. You're a salty treat because you have the salted.
Who's player number 1? Who's player number 2?
Player 1.
I'm player 2. Who's older? Brad.
Me.
By 4 months.
4 months.
Who encourages to add more weight at the gym during lifts, and who says screw it, let's leave?
I'm both, I think.
No, you're the... Brad puts weights on my bar without telling me. And I am like, I don't want to do this. Let's go to Taco Bell.
I know, but there's some days that I'm definitely that way too.
Who asked who out on the first date? Brad. Who said I love you first? Brad. What's something you want to try together? Europe.
Cruise.
A cruise.
I've never done cruises.
What's something you refuse to do together?
I don't think there's really anything. Nothing comes to mind.
She said, what's your official song together? This was Hillary's. What's your official song together and what's your unofficial song together? We don't really have any.
No, but we've gone to see Old Dominion enough times now at this point.
We love Old Dominion. At the concert, Brad was like, should this be one of like the Walk Down the Aisle song?
Like instrumental version of it. Why we get some packages on the porch?
What's something that the other one eats that gives you, I'm so happy you love that, as in the meal snack treat is not for you? Oh, like, so happy that you love it.
Lunch tzatziki balls.
They're so good.
They're not.
I don't think there's anything that you do because Brad is pickier than I am, and by no means am I saying that Brad's picky, because he's not. He's not a picky eater, but he is pickier than me.
I don't like pickles.
I do love pickles.
Yeah, that's probably one.
How do you feel?
Super.
Okay, well, we're home from Nashville and...
Smell you later.
Just gonna end it right there.